What's good, y'all? Welcome to Randomville, episode 4. We coming from all parts of San Diego, California. That's how we do it. We got John and we got Moses. Unfortunately, our special guest last week, Jorley, couldn't make it. We were just talking about it. Sooner or later, we're going to have all 4 of us on the pod. But let's kick off tonight's episode. We getting off kind of what everyone's doing in quarantine, you know? So a couple things to talk about, but first of all, let's talk about workout. So what I heard on the grapevine was our buddy Moses over here got a treadmill to shed some of that weight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bought myself a treadmill off of Amazon, man. I've been trying to cut weight like moderately, like a little bit at a time, but it's been rough, man, because I haven't been doing no cardio. Like I just been lifting weights, so I haven't really lost weight. Like a lot of times I've been gaining weight because of just putting on the muscle and whatnot. But had to bow down, man, and buy a treadmill. I mean, I like running outside, but my knees don't work well on the concrete, and I don't have no grass fields around me right now and stuff. So I was like, fuck it, let's just invest in a well, actually, wifey paid half of it, so.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, right. That
was my belated Mother's Day gift.
Yeah, it's a split Mother's Day, Father's Day gift, right?
Exactly. So.
All right, what about you, John? You still keeping up with the boxing?
Yeah, I put my my punching bag back up like a couple weeks ago, and then it was out of commission for like a little bit, but still hitting it, still training the kids. Did you rip it? Nah, not yet. it's on these little bike hooks, bro, so I don't even have it like drilled into like any like type of thing. So it's just on like a bike hook. And so the bike hook gave up on me and just straight up almost hit my youngest.
Would have been a better story if you were saying like your youngest went in there and just started.
No, he actually Jackson was the one that knocked it down. He actually punched it and it almost hit him.
Oh, did we lose Moses?
Uh-oh. And take a picture of this cat.
It's just frozen? I got a blank screen.
No, mine is just him smiling.
Oh. All right, well, speaking of boxing and getting in shape, we've been harping on our good friend Iron Mike Tyson here, getting in shape, looking like he in prime form.
Oh boy!
I don't doubt that he could take on some of the heavyweight class right now, but he's not the only one getting back in shape. And it looks like his rival is looking for a third match to finally finish off Tyson.
Evander
Holyfield posted a video, getting back in shape, and at the end, kind of mocks Mike Tyson, calling him out, putting his fist up and saying, "I'm back," just like Tyson did, So, what y'all think? Y'all seen the video, right? What y'all think about Holyfield?
Man,
John,
I think there's a difference between Mike Tyson's and Holyfield's video, and where Mike Tyson's just throwing with like mean intentions, bro. And he's going for the kill with those punches. Holyfield is just straight up training, like just regular workout.
For real, man.
Tyson was on some like,
I was on some 25-year-old shit, man.
Yeah, exactly. He looked
Evander Holyfield was on some 65-year-old
yeah, he was.
workouts and shit.
He's doing Zumba.
So yeah. I purposely haven't talked to nobody about this specifically because I thought the same thing when I saw Holyfield. Boxers, it's kind of like riding a bike for them, right? They train so much in this way, right? To be a boxer, to be in fighting shape. And when they were younger, like especially Holyfield, Tyson, that's all they knew, right? That was their profession. Mm-hmm. But then to go, they retired and they kind of lived that adult life away from boxing. They showed up to events and showed out, but they never really kept on the training. So what I saw in Holyfield was he was just kind of doing the training piece, right? It's kind of like going through the motions to lose weight, right? It's kind of like the treadmill.
Yeah.
He's on there getting that 5 miles per hour, at a 2% incline.
Yeah.
Whereas Tyson, he was running uphill outside in the snow with no shoes on in his training video. Like
and
you could tell.
And he still looked like he'll eat the fucking kid. He still look like he'll eat the kid.
Yeah, he look like eat some kids.
Hey, did you guys hear that rumor though that Evander said that he'll fight, but only under one condition, and that's no knockouts?
What? Oh, like,
to
be like all geared up, like
I know, for real. Like I was like, that's impossible for Mike Tyson, dude.
Yeah,
because Mike Tyson was a great boxer, but if you ever watch anything about Mike Tyson, he always aimed to knock somebody out.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He never wanted to go to the scorecard.
Yeah,
Like, you know, compare nowadays to back then. Tyson was just a monster. He just wanted to kill whoever got in the ring. He could be friends with you afterwards, but if you had a match against him, he was there to knock your head off. Whereas someone like Mayweather, he knows if he takes you all the way to the end, he's going to win on the card.
Yeah.
Because he's going to do what it takes the majority of the fight to win the points on the card. Tyson ain't trying to fight nobody where knockouts don't count because you want to knock someone's head off.
Yeah.
Did you see his progress in, like, I think it was like the last 6 months or something like that? Like what he looked like 6 months ago?
Yeah.
And what he looks like now?
I saw
Shoot,
that.
3 months make a difference.
Like, oh my God, man. Like
Yeah, especially in that Clippers.
This is my idol again. Like, now that we're getting up, in age now, I'm like, damn, dude. Like, that was motivated. I actually think that's why I got the treadmill, man. To tell you the truth.
Hey, using motivation, bro.
Hey, well, then we got to send shots out to Mike Tyson, man. Thanks for hyping up the world, you know?
Yeah, and Mayweather can't even take his own kid to school.
Yeah, he don't even take his kids to school.
He's not a man of the people. He's not a man of the people.
So what's up?
Oh, no, I'm saying Tyson doing all that training after he broke his back.
What happened out there? I broke my back.
It's spinal.
It's spinal. Spinal. I broke my back.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, that God made him to box, dude. Like, to box, and not only box physically, but box mentally, dude.
Yeah.
I tell you about him getting hypnotized as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's right,
bro. Like, he was meant to do this shit.
He actually thought he was an animal.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, and you can see it. You can see it in the way he boxes, man.
Dude.
It's crazy.
Sure, bro.
Crazy. Man. This is crazy. Wow, crazy.
But it does look like everyone's taking this time in the quarantine or the stay at home, wherever they are, to get in shape. So even if Holyfield is just in it for some kind of charity fight or even just for some current publicity, man, I gotta give hats off, man. He definitely looks good as for his age, you know. And that's, I'm hoping, you know, even after stay at home, that's what we're all striving for, is just continue to stay healthy and active, you know. So
So don't fight Mike Tyson, Evander, please.
No, please don't.
Man. Oh man.
You're kind of a sports treasure, man. Don't ruin it, bro.
Yeah, please. Please don't, man.
But speaking of quarantine, a lot of people are getting innovative with this social distancing. So if you don't know, first off, you got to be an ostrich with your head in the sand. But the current order is you're supposed to keep distance about 6 feet away from any of your local people that you're around. If you go out in town and go to Walmart or Home Depot. So I don't know if everyone's seen some of these crazy things that people are doing, from building these plastic booths to pool noodles coming out of their head. People forgetting their masks to go in the store, so they get the girl to give them the panties, so they put it over their head. I don't know what's going on, but you know, some of these things are pretty innovative. But we also got some of those people out there that are pretty stupid, and they I can't breathe, so I cut a hole in the mask, you know.
And they straight up eat in that hole. Like they be like, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Hey, I seen a mask online that it's got a hole, like a little hole to put a straw in. But when you put a straw in there, it like seals onto the straw, and when you pull it out, like it seals shut. And I was like, just fucking take your mask off and damn fucking get 6 feet away from a motherfucker. Take your mask off. Well, better yet, 7 feet. Play it safe. Take your mask off. Take a little sip. Fucking blow out. Put the mask back on, man. Good to go.
No, I agree.
Crazy.
Some of these things are crazy. What's some crazy stuff you seen, John?
Aside from the KKK mask.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Shit. I seen a straight up, I don't know if you guys seen the one where it was a security guard for like an ATM, like, you know, the people that do the armored trucks, like the
Okay.
You know, and he's in like a fucking convenient, or not a convenience store, but like a grocery store, and he's doing security, and he straight up has, like you said, like the panties, like he straight up has panties, and he's this guy's in charge of like guarding, like, you know, like tens of thousands of dollars. Straight up wearing drawers on his face,
like you could take an old shirt, man. Like he's trying to make a statement, man. I don't know. We could guess what statement that is, but
I'm guessing that his girl's clean. I'm guessing that the statement is his girl's clean. Like I can wear my girl's panties because they're clean.
Yeah. Leave that statement in the panties, man. You know what I mean? You don't need to wear that shit. You know what I mean?
He's surviving Corona anyway. If he got some panties on his face, he's surviving Corona for sure.
He living the life, bro. He living the life.
Yeah.
He's trying to let everyone know.
I got a neighbor, man. My neighbor, he's got a gas mask, bro. Like a legit. He said it was like $200 and something, dude. I was like, okay, but he puts it on. He puts it on before he even gets in his car. He gets in his car and drives off with a fucking gas mask on, dude.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't see the point.
I mean,
like, driving with a mask on.
I know.
I ain't trying to show up to the Zoom meeting on a mask on, you know.
I know. I got some folks in this house that wears a mask while they driving.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We gotta convince them to stop doing that. I laugh.
Hey, each his own, man. I don't judge. You know what I mean?
I know.
No, I get it if you're driving from like you leave Walmart with the mask on, you get in your car and you only have like a 30-second drive to the gas station and you're like, I'm gonna leave it on anyway. Like I get it.
Oh yeah,
I totally get it. Or like if you're going from Costco to the Costco gas station, like I totally get it at that point. But if you
on the freeway,
if you got a 10-minute drive, it's on the freeway, you should probably just take that off. The Corona already got you, bro. If it's that bad.
Yeah, I know. For real.
Got to your head.
For real, man.
But it looked like these measures are ramping down a little bit, and I don't know about what, you know, if you're listening or watching, what state you're in. But I know here in Cali, things are starting to loosen up a little bit. Things are starting to reopen. Beaches, salons, even casinos this week. Casinos are opening this week, and
my wife goes back to work.
Yeah, and I
set up.
The what?
Florida reopened a casino, or it might have been a new casino that they just set up.
It was in Florida.
It was Florida, right?
It was in Florida. Yeah. Of all places.
They straight up had like a full-on like shield, like over the poker table.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like,
you know what I question though about that?
What's that?
You know what I question about that though is like, what about those sneaky motherfuckers, like those sneaky beats who be in there like?
Oh, I hear you, dude. That's the first thing I thought of. That's the
like trying to watch on the plexiglass or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
That's
send
what
a
I was
little.
thinking too. I'm like, people are gonna be doing some shady shit because it looks like a Hood Popeyes where the fucking bulletproof.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
dude,
ever
that's
been
what it
to
look like, a
Have you ever been
bulletproof.
to a Hood Popeyes?
Yeah,
Has a fucking straight up bulletproof glass and shit,
yeah,
and then you just
Roscoe's
slide
chicken
your
and
money under and take the fucking, they spin the shit around and give you your food.
waffles.
That's what it looked like over there. But fucking imagine like a fucking shady ass poker player just with
Yeah,
all
man.
types of boundaries. Like,
Well, I mean, as it is, my game is roulette, so I'm pretty much safe. Like, I get my own colored chips. The
Yeah.
dealer and I really never have to touch. He used the little stick to gather all the
Yeah.
chips and all.
they've been social distancing at roulette. Huh?
Yeah, I'm. The good thing is, like, I hate when I go to one of the roulette tables. Well, not here in Cali, because Cali plays some weird roulette. But let's say like in Vegas, you go to the roulette tables, and it's the one you were hot on the other night, and you go back, and there's like a small opening like this big, and you got to kind of just fit in there. So hopefully, I'll never have a problem getting on a roulette table now because it's
I
social
know.
distancing.
Yeah. No, you know what I noticed about the table with the plexiglass though, is that the seats were in the same spot. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't 6 feet away from each other. Of course not. You know what I mean? Like it was
Nah. It's
Yeah.
oh,
What, did John freeze up?
I think we lost John.
He didn't pay his bill too.
John. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That was you.
Oh, did you just pay your bill?
Nah, I was like, wait, they both didn't freeze, so it had to be me. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I know.
All right. We're gonna skip over the 6'9" in respect for John because I'm with him. I don't want to give the dude any time either. So it was just a hot topic, you know. It's just
I know. We can talk a little bit. I don't know. It's up to y'all, but I was talking to a barber. Not saying I'm out there getting my hair.
What you do?
I ain't trying to ask.
I was talking to my barber today about that, and he's like, "Hey, say what you want about 6'9", but he's actually still fucking making money. Like he's like he had his homeboys like fucking his baby mama, right? And he got kidnapped by his own homie. He's like, I'm snitching on you. He's saying like, I'm pretty much snitching on you if you're doing all types of shit like that. But
Yeah,
I'm cracking up with that shit.
I don't know, man. I just think, I mean, regardless if he's getting all those fucking views on IG Live and all that, like, whatever it was, what was it? Like, it was some crazy
Like
number,
200
right?
200
Like,
million?
unheard of.
Nah, it's like 3 million. It's like 3 million in the first like 30 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Hey, that's cool, man. But all the shit that he's going through and he's exposing himself of is not a good influence on. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, a lot of rappers are a good influence, but like he's just not, like, it's not something that you want your teenage daughter or teenage son
He
to come
glorifies
around
a lot of
listening.
shit that,
You know what I mean? Like I 100% would rather my teenage daughter listen to Tupac because Tupac was cathartic, meaning he expressed his feelings of poverty and struggle and all that shit. But 6ix9ine is like calling out Snoop Dogg
yeah, I seen that.
for being a snitch. 6ix9ine snitching out everybody right now, you know what I'm saying? So let's move on.
So
That's super snitching right there, bro.
So just to pick off of John, what kind of John was saying, I do believe like he has someone on his team that's doing kind of the Kanye thing where any press is good press, right? Like
Yeah.
if you get so what I believe was like a lot of these people tuned in to the live IG just to see if this dude was gonna get shot up on live IG, not because they like the dude, But the dude was going live. What you don't make you go residence like no.
Yeah.
You gonna show where you
I mean,
are?
I
Like
get
you
that,
about to get
too.
shot up, right? Like
the thing with
Yeah.
that though is like, like even if he gets those people that hate him, you know what I mean, and then
he still
the
makes
people
money
that
off of
actually
it.
like him, he's still getting those views, and he gets what he wants because of that.
No,
He's
no,
so
and you think about it, the crazier Kanye seemed to everybody, that's exactly it, right? Like no matter if you hated him, if you thought what he did was stupid, like people were tuning in to view what he was doing, and that's the worst part about it. But still, it's like they're gonna get the views. Now to piggyback off of what Mo said, to be honest, like back in the day, you had Snoop, Tupac, Biggie, they all had something to say. They were relaying parts of their life and kind of trying to project like what they went through to show people like even after I've been all through that, I'm here now, right? Like this is where I am. So like you can keep going. And even some of the newer rappers nowadays, they trying to show and stand up for something, give a meaning to something, right? You're talking Kendrick Lamar,
J. Cole.
J. Cole, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. All these dudes, they trying to have this message that like, I went through it. Like I've been part of some of the worst streets, and I'm still here. And like I just push forward. Like so, even if your goal isn't music, like just keep going for what you're going. And some of these other cats, like 6ix9ine, who's the dude with the purple, the pink and purple dreads? I Spy. He's at I Spy. What's that? I can't think of his movie name. He don't eat like pizza or something. Pizza and chicken strips. Yeah, Little Yachty. Like they just out here trying to make a song to get money and then don't even care like what the message is. It's like
there is no message. Like it's just they're popular and then they get it's that easy for them. Like
they just chasing that clout because clout makes money.
Yeah.
And then money makes the world go round for an individual anyway, because this motherfucker tried to donate money to the what was that charity?
No Kid Hungry. Yeah, No Kid Hungry.
He tried to donate 200 G's or something like that, and they're like, yo, scratch that, bro. Like I don't like what you're promoting, so I'm not accepting the money that you make off of these promotions. You know what I mean? Like
and that go to show you, because you think of some of the ones that we mentioned that kind of make a name, even some of the ones we haven't mentioned yet, like Chance the Rapper and Jay-Z, they donate to a charity. Those charities are happy to take those. They're happy. They put their name, they put publicity out there, like, yo, Chance gave up $3 million to this, Jay-Z did this, Kendrick Lamar, he donated to local schools and bought backpacks for everybody. Like they in the news everywhere. This dude tried to give out money for free at a time when a lot of people are in the need, and they're like,
anyway.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, I've always said like throughout my HVAC career and all that, because I've got job offers that like they're like, hey, we'll give you $7 more than what your current company is giving you and stuff. And I've always said in my mind, like, I analyze the situation. I've always said that not all money is good money. You know what I mean? Not all money is good money, man. So that's a prime example of that, dude. Because I believe in energy, like in the power of finances, the power of emotions and shit. Like that, like you don't want that money, man. You don't want that money because there's a lot of shit behind that.
And it goes to show, I mean, like I said, you're talking about a charity that could use the money. A lot of kids nowadays homeschooled. Some of these kids, the only time they got a good 2-3 meals a day was from school. And there's a lot of schools handing out money. Handing out food. Kids come and they pick up either their daily portion or a whole weekly portion. And they just like, nah, we'll get money from somewhere else. Like,
yeah, I know. Because they're trying to be honest, man. They're like, you don't want to accept this money from a person like him, like a soul like him, and then take it, and then it goes into kids' homes, like with the parents, and they're teaching them. They're like, hey, you know why you got this new iPad?
Where'd this come from?
let's watch Gooba.
Where'd you get the meal from? Takashi who? Teriyaki what?
69.
All right.
69.
Wait a minute. What?
All right. I got to get a quick refill on my drink. Moses, why don't you take us to our first sponsor about that Manscaped?
All right. Hey, let's just let Chris take a break, man.
I know, dude. Hey, this is brought to you by Harlan Brewing.
And then I'm running through that thorn too, baby.
Y'all can't see it because I usually put it in a glass, but I got that Terramana tequila still.
I see you got that throwback Chargers cup too, man.
Yo, throwback Charger cup.
Hell yeah,
still say the right city on it, San Diego, so we good.
Hey, I just bought like little pieces of gear within the last couple of years, and they already a throwback, dude.
Like, San Diego.
Like, damn, man. Even with just the logos, like, yeah, look different now.
Yeah, man. Even the logo, right? Like they're changing it up. But speaking of sports, let's move on to sports. So Holyfield and Tyson both sports, talking about past boxers getting into shape. CC Sabathia losing weight, looking good out there. Trying to now the thing to talk about is he trying to get back into baseball?
Oh man, he certainly looks like it. I mean, I honestly think he got inspired by Mike Tyson as well.
He looked like he's trying to get into football.
But props, man. He looks. What is he? 37 right now?
Yeah, he's like 37, 38, something like that right now.
He's looking good, man. I mean, baseball isn't that fucking hard, man. I mean, of course it's hard.
No. Don't sway from where you're about to go. All right, I'm gonna back up more on this one. So
I don't mean to call him, I know a lot of baseball players, so.
And I'm not gonna put nothing against baseball because listen, if my kid says he want to pick up a bat and a glove, I'm gonna give him every tool he needs to get to college and to the major leagues. All right.
I would rather invest in that than any other sport.
But on that note, I can't make it through 9 innings straight. You'll never find me. Listen, I'm not. You take me to a Charger game, I'm not one to leave my seat. All right. I had season tickets for 5-6 years. My wife knew as soon as we sat down, unless I had to go to the bathroom, I'm not leaving my seat. You take me to a San Diego Padre game, you're gonna find me in my seat about 3-4 innings. The other 5-6 innings, I'm wandering around doing something.
I'll ponder at the Padre game.
Yeah.
I mean,
at a baseball game, I think that is where I just get the most drunk and like I don't give a fuck and I just move how I move and like because I mean it's just something like you ought to just go to and just have fun. But like I'm not an eyes on the ball type of dude when it comes to the
not really done anything to look at. It ain't really nothing to look at.
Man. Yeah, I have more fun like watching the Jumbotron and shit, dude. Like when they're fucking with fans and shit, you know?
Yeah, or when they're doing the what's that hashtag SD and HD or something. Like I'm trying to get on the big board with my Instagram.
I know, bro. Like, yo, right here, dude. Hey, I'll tell you guys a story, man. When I first moved here to San Diego from Hawaii, I think it was in the first month that I was here. I think it was in the first month. So I went to my first ever MLB game at Petco. And I actually sat right like a little bit left of home base, like probably like the 4th row up. So I had some dope seats, man. And then so after the game, man, like I was drinking during the game and shit and having so much fun, dude. I wasn't even watching the game. I was just getting drunk off the $10 beers, you know what I mean? Like, ran myself broke. And I go home and my sister was at home and she was watching the game and I was right in the back of the batter. It was on ESPN, and I was right in the back of the batter. I have pictures of this shit, dude. I think it's on my Facebook, as a matter of fact. But I'm sitting in the back, dude, just smiles, man, like culture shock like a motherfucker, coming from the islands, being an island boy, living on the island for 17 years, and then coming to San Diego, you know what I mean? But I was on ESPN, baby.
Hey,
That's the goal. That's the goal. Especially when you go into a baseball game. That's the goal.
And that's the only reason why I would say I kind of partially like baseball, man.
You're on ESPN.
He's on the Kiss Cam.
Exactly. You put me on.
Now me and John damn near definitely know that Moses was behind home plate, looking like Russell Westbrook, and
flinching.
Yeah. and to be exact, it was a home game in San Diego for the Padres. And I believe it was it was 2010, and it was against the Colorado Rockies, I think it was like a preseason game.
This is a very significant memory to Moses, because you know exactly. Oh,
I haven't talked about this to anybody, man.
I organized, what was it, last year or 2 years ago? I organized the Filipino night game, and I don't even know who we played. Like I did that all together, and I don't think I knew when we were at the game.
I remember that night. I didn't go. I didn't go because I think it was I forgot what happened. I think it was like close to Jalen's birthday. There it is. That's a hat.
Yeah. See,
what? Hey, I got like 10 of these motherfuckers, yo. I swear to God.
Did you get a box on the way out?
I think I got mine from Mo. I got mine from Mo, and I seen Will wearing it at the birthday party.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of good stats, we got a NFL player who, if you watch football, you definitely know that this guy is a baller on the field, right? Plays quarterback, QB1 for his team, won a Super Bowl. But can you guys believe that this stat actually exists? Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks has not received any MVP votes in his entire career.
What the fuck, man? I was so mind blown by that shit, man. And I mean, honestly, I kind of got upset. I'm not even a Seahawks fan, you know what I mean? I'm a Chargers fan.
No, but as a sports fan, you see something like
fan, that that hit me hard, man. I was like, dude, that dude is like, he's kind of crazy when it comes to winning games and important games and stats and all that shit. He is definitely a name to mention when it comes to the top 15 quarterbacks in the league ever. You know what I mean?
I think he breaks top 10. Yeah, I definitely think he breaks top 10 in the league right now.
Top 10, exactly. I mean, that is disrespectful, man.
There's not too many. Like, if this upcoming season, if you say give me 10 quarterbacks as of right now that you would want as your starting quarterback, I can't say there's more than 9 that I put ahead of him. Honestly, I'd put him in the top 6 or 7. So I mean,
in the right now, yeah.
So it is kind of mind blowing, and I don't know. I'm not that deep into my research yet, but it's kind of mind blowing how like this MVP vote works. I don't know if it's like if you won the MVP, do you get to vote, or is it just like Associated Press plus some people in the league, they get to vote? But somebody is crazy. I mean, everybody of them are crazy for his entire career to look at this dude and say, nah, he's not MVP. Not even just one.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
And he got a ring too.
Yeah, and he got a ring. And that dude, there's something wrong with the MVP voting system if he didn't even get one vote for it. And he's got that ring. Who had got the MVP? Who had got the MVP that year that he won the Super Bowl?
They won the Super Bowl 2014. And remember, and just so you guys remember, it is MVP of the regular season. So no matter how hard you played in the postseason, no matter what you did in the Super Bowl, that's not supposed to go into account when it comes to voting for MVP. But they won't. So
last year.
They won the Super Bowl in 2014. I think was that the first for their franchise?
For the franchise?
I think it was the first. If not the first, it was the second of their entire franchise. But for 2014, the MVP was Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, okay. So that's,
which wasn't on our format at all. But I'm pretty sure you guys seen Aaron Rodgers. This is last year in Green Bay.
Oh yeah, dude. He's gonna go to the Vikings. Watch.
Don't do it.
Watch.
He's gonna do a Favre.
He's gonna go to the Vikings, man. I'm telling you, they want him. They need him.
So on the same topic, Russell Wilson thinks there's sources in the league that think Russell Wilson is not gonna be a Seahawk after this year.
Oh, I heard that rumor about. Well, the owner had came out. I think was it yesterday or the day before, and he said that it was false. But he was saying there was a report that in 2018, the Seahawks were ready to trade Russell Wilson to the Browns of all people.
Oh, I saw that for
a first pick.
Which would have been your boy.
Baker, right?
Yeah, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, that's right. I saw that the other day.
I was begging for somebody to come out and say that ain't true, man. And the owner just did that. But
no. But the owner's gonna say what he says because, to be honest, Russell Wilson came out and balled out last year. He put together a good run. A lot of people kind of were saying they were on the decline, and was on the downfall of the Legion of Boom in that Super Bowl team. But he definitely put up some numbers last year to get his team to where they did get to last year. So of course he's gonna backpedal and be like, "Nah, that was never the case." But let's just say that was the case. Could you imagine what first off, laughing stock that the Seahawks would have been to have Baker Mayfield as a quarterback and gave up Russell Wilson for that?
What? So in 2018 draft, I was kind of out of the like college, knowledge of quarterbacks and players and first round picks and all that. Was Baker the dominant number one pick at that point? At that point in time?
I think he was always suspected to be the number one as far as quarterbacks. And I don't know why, but everyone put their faith in this dude, thought he was the next big thing. But just to give you an idea of who the next picks were, Barkley was number 2. Darnold, who sees ghosts playing in New York, was number 3.
Wow.
Then you got Browns picking up Ward again. Bradley Chubb was on the Broncos. Quentin Nelson was on the Colts. So as you can see, and then Josh Allen was for the Bills at number 7. So as you can see, through 7 picks, it's really slim picking.
Yeah,
you got about a good 2-3 players.
Why are they so fucking terrible, man? God. I mean, if Russell Wilson went there, probably still really be terrible, man. I mean, honestly.
What if he was a missing piece?
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, I think we talked about this with the Bengals in one of the last podcasts with Joe Burrow and all that, and how I think I mentioned I think I said something it's got to be the organization and the coaching issues and and all that makes a team just very inconsistent for so long, especially with having all these first round picks and possible trades. They get Odell Beckham and
first round
now
pick at number 1 pick at that.
Landry is better, huh?
Not just first round pick. They've had numerous
Yeah,
number 1
man.
picks.
Yeah. Number 1 picks. They've had.
They went through like the quarterback phase and just
Was
kept
it
going.
trades? They end up getting Kareem Hunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They get Odell Beckham. They get Jarvis Landry. They get freaking what is that running back? Chubb? Is it Chubb? Right?
Chubbs, yeah.
Yeah,
Was it Nick Chubb? Nick Chubb,
Nick
something
Chubb.
like that.
And then what is that linebacker? Garrett? Is it
Oh,
Garrett?
the helmet dude, Myles Garrett.
Yeah, Myles Garrett. I mean, God, he's
No, but on paper, the Browns are supposed to be a powerhouse. I'm not gonna lie. Like if you look at
Yeah.
paper, just who they got on the roster, you would think they're a top, 10 team.
I want to see them come up, man. I mean, honestly.
No, and honestly, if you're a sports fan, you hope at one point the Browns turn around. But you are right. Like the GM makes a big difference. And not to be like a super fan, but the Chargers picking up Tom Telesco, I think it's been
dude.
as far as personnel, I think it's been the biggest change for us yet. Because same year, 2018, we didn't have an early pick. We actually had number 17 on that year, 2018. We had number 17, and that 2018, our first round pick was Derwin James. So you thinking about like picks and all these people picking people up. Derwin James is a difference maker on the field as far as defense, right?
He gonna be a Hall of Famer.
But it's just like you said. Like, look at all these people like that got passed up in the draft. If you look, and it's hard to say like Mahommes coming out of college was going to be, Mahommes, right? It's hard to say that Lamar Jackson coming out of college was going to be able to, succeed in this league. It's hard to say that. But if you look at it, the good GMs can spot these players at those rounds and say, yo, that's somebody we should take a chance on.
He's got some potential, man. Yeah, that takes a lot of brains, man. That takes a lot of passion too. So that's what makes me wonder with these teams like excluding Tua, but the Dolphins, Cincy, you know what I mean? The Browns, the Jaguars, like super inconsistent, man. They're like, you're only as strong as your weakest link, right?
Yeah.
So somewhere in those organizations, because these players that they drafted and acquire and all that, dude, they're elite, man. They're not just pros; they're elite.
Yeah.
And like they know how to run routes, they know how to catch balls. A lot of these receivers, are good, but they're inconsistent with their hands. You know what I mean? But people like Jarvis Landry and Beckham, like Beckham barely got any balls last year, man. You know what I mean? Like
he was like invisible last year.
No homo.
No.
Yeah.
But man, come on, man. There's got a super glitch going on in the organization, man.
So let's move on. We're gonna move to the world of NBA. We'll come back to the NFL, but we're gonna move on to the world of NBA. So Jordan documentary wrapping up last couple episodes, but a lot of controversy on some of the things that Jordan's come out and put out there to the world that you might not have known about him. Just be watching as even a casual or even an in-depth fan, because these are things that I know, but things like him telling people that Horace Grant can't eat because he don't deserve to get a plate of food. Or being disrespectful to other teammates, people saying that he's a bully, that he doesn't deserve to be held up to this limelight. But then other people looking at it like, you just don't know what it takes to be considered one of the greatest of all times, And so I want to kind of get the pod's take on this, because we finally wrapping up the kind of this Last Dance thing. This might be second to last time we talk about the documentary specifically, but what y'all take on Jordan and how he reacts to his teammates, or how he reacts period to situations?
I kind of like it. I kind of like that mentality. Like, I think I'm part of the crowd that, that's really what it takes. Like for you to drive your team, you got to be that kind of savage, and like you can't just have no average. Like you won 6 rings for a reason.
Yep.
Like because you instill that kind of mentality, that dog mentality, in your teammates, not just yourself. Like you just straight up, you're a dog. You got to make your teammates some dogs too. So I think
Exactly.
that's what he was. Yes, I think that's what he was doing, and I don't. I think Kobe was like that, and that's 5 rings right there. Like you get it for a
I'm
reason.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That shit don't come easy, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
As a basketball fan, I feel the same way as a basketball player. I might be a little biased. I don't really, well, I don't play ball anymore. It's been years. But prior to like 25 years old, I was always on the court, man. And I used to love when like coaches would really get on my case and shit like that, or even one of the dominant, even one of the other dominant players, when they would get on my ass about some shit, I would take everything as a learning process, because of the fact that the ultimate goal is a championship ring, man. And in the NBA, that's the highest level of basketball that you can play. So
That's
you
right.
expect that. So I watched that Last Dance, and I'm like, yo, like I'm not surprised, dude. Like I'm
Yeah.
not surprised at
Nah.
all, bro. And
No,
then
and you understand, like some of the best athletes, as hard as they are on their teammates, they're harder on themselves. And so this is what I kind of see. It's like, you think how hard he was on Horace Grant. You think when Jordan lost the game, he didn't go back into the gym and was telling himself that he
put it
failed?
on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so as speaking back on the topic earlier, like the quarantine workout, I was trying to lose weight before this whole quarantine work started and everything. But when I first started getting back into the gym, people don't understand like how many times I looked in the mirror and told myself, the reason why it's hard is because you let it get this hard. Like telling myself in the mirror, like, the reason why you can't lift as much as you used to lift is because you stopped, and it's all on you. Like, and to honestly look in the mirror and say, you're the person who's going to make a difference going forward. And then someone coming up to you, like, and it's funny because I would go to the gym early in the morning, and I'd be the only one there, but someone would come in every once in a while and be like, oh, I see you making progress. What can I do? And I'd give them the advice and say, well, this is what I did. I had to push myself. I had to be here every morning before, 6 o'clock. I'm the only one here. I
Yep.
sweat it out. I push myself. That's what you got to do. But then the next day, I don't see this dude at the gym. Like at that point, when he come up, say, "Oh, I just didn't wake up to my alarm, whatever." I was like, "Well, just don't ask me for help no more." And not to be
Yeah.
not to be an a-hole to the dude, but I'm just saying, like, if you're not gonna take my advice on what it takes to be to become this, then just don't ask me. Don't expect me to keep trying to push you, because just like Jordan, it starts inside, right? Jordan had to be a champion, and then he could push his fellow players to be a champion.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as hard as he was on Pippen, on Grant, on Rodman, and on everything, everyone has to understand he had to be 400 times more hard on himself every time something happened to be that hard on them.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and it's kind of toxic if you think about it. But honestly, if you want to be a champion, that's what it's going to take.
Oh, 100%, man. And then also like if you look at players, well, another player, Kobe, he was the same way, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys follow like insiders when it comes. I'm sure you have, Chris, but follow the insiders like on Kobe and his locker room little beefs with the newer teams that he had, like with Lynn, the Asian kid.
With Lynn and Young and all those
And
cats.
like Julius Randle and all them,
Yeah.
and all them. It was the same thing, man. He and fucking Dwight Howard, like he chased these motherfuckers out of the gym, bro, because he was sick of losing, man. He was sick and tired of the losing mentality, and then these people getting hyped when they get a win, like in the regular season. Like, scratch all that, man. You need to get in the gym and work on your L's, man.
No, and I was just gonna say, relating that to Kobe. Obviously, I'm a Laker fan, so I know some of these things, but or I've heard some of these things before. But relating to Kobe, one of those other things that keeps popping up is when people come on pods and they talk about their experience with Kobe. And that time, I think it was the year before or 2 years before he retired, he walked in the locker room like the last game of the year and was like, "Hey, I just came by to say bye because some of you people are getting traded." Like, that was it. Yeah, and I'm like, and as much as I knew about Kobe, 100% that was true, because he was like, if you ain't gonna play at the level I need you to play to be my teammate, then you don't belong on the team.
It was Carlos Boozer too, man.
Yeah.
But to not sugarcoat it, I think he used the word scrub. He says, because some of you scrubs are gonna be traded. Like, this is my last season. Bums, maybe, yeah, bums. Yeah.
Even worse.
Yeah, worse than a scrub.
But back, going back to Jordan, man, I mean, he is the epitome of greatness, dude. Like, I don't care if it's sports, if it's business, even if it's just working out, dude. Like, his drive and his competitiveness in this Last Dance, like the behind the scenes and shit that we never really saw, like we just been guessing this whole time, is incredible, man. That dude, I was talking to my wife about him the other night, and I was like, "Hey, yo, when this series is over, me and you got to go back and watch this shit together, because this is more than basketball. This is more than basketball. Like, this is a person who like put it all out there to get exactly what he wanted 5 motherfucking, or was it 6 times or 5 times?
6. He's the 6-time champ.
6, right?
Twice three-peat, bro.
So he like you can tell, if you're the type of person to listen to a song and they're talking about some inspirational shit, but you never been through that, but you can listen to that and translate it into what you're doing, whether if it's business, work, whatever that is the type of person, that is the type of competitiveness that you really want around you, only if you really want what you want. You know what I mean?
And to give props to Jordan, I don't know if you'll correlate this together, but kind of me pushing on you guys to for the team, pushing on the team to get together and kind of start up this pod, kind of correlated with the beginning of the Last Dance, because to be honest, you are right. Like, Jordan constantly pushed forward to what he wanted, whether it was basketball, shoes, baseball, back to basketball, clothing line, separating from Nike and becoming his own brand. Like,
even retirement.
He just kept pushing to be the greatest at what he was doing, right? And so and the only thing that separates him from a normal person is his work ethic, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people always say, I could have done this, but somebody else already did that. Well, if that was true, we would never have started this pod, because there are plenty of people out there with podcasts. If that was true, I would never start the YouTube channel. There's plenty of people that were YouTube. But I think this kind of format, this kind of the way that we're talking, I think this is something that is really needed, because a lot of people are like by the paper, right? It's like, you watch Skip, you watch, Steven, straight up, just like facts, figures, stats, paperwork. Nah, this is what normal fans see, is what we talking about. Like, I'm looking at Jordan. This dude is an inspiration. I've never been a Chicago Bulls fan, but if you ask me who's, one of the inspirations growing up, I'm gonna tell you Michael Jordan, definitely. Like, I bought J's. I have J's. I've worn J's. Back when I was a kid, I couldn't wait to get myself a pair of J's. So, I mean,
I know. I finally got my mom to buy me a pair at in the 10th grade, bro.
Yo, eighth grade, 8th grade, the first time I got a pair of J's was my grandma who found them by luck at the NEX on the clearance rack.
Oh shit! Yeah, you got lucky, bro. Because my shit was fresh out of Champ Sports, man. Fucking.
I'm
Mine was
telling
from
you.
the Nike outlet.
See?
Like, yeah.
And I don't know if you know, but there's people on base that stalk the NEX for when J's go on sale. So
Oh yeah.
for her to find my size on sale on the clearance rack in the powder blues that I wanted, that was heaven. That was heaven.
Carolina
I gotta
blue.
say though, that was my only pair of
Sorry.
Jordans.
Carolina blue.
That's how you know he's a Charger fan.
That Charger blue, baby.
It's always powder.
powder cut.
Powder cut.
All right, we're going to lasso this and bring it back to the NFL for one last sports topic. So, reigning MVP of last year was Lamar Jackson. Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahommes. Who has the better year this year?
This coming year?
This coming year. So
Hey.
and you know, there's always the X factor, and there's always the variable that there might not be fans, there might be home field advantage. But let's just say, all things out the window, it's going to be a level playing field for all of them. Who has the better year, Lamar or Mahomes?
I say, I gotta say Mahomes, man. I mean, when it comes to being in the AFC West and going against this cat the past couple years that he been around. I mean, the Chargers exposed Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. Granted, the following year, Lamar picked up his passing game and he started becoming more of a very consistent player. Like, quarterback rating every single game was through the roof, But when it comes to what Kansas City has, man, compared to what Baltimore has, I believe in Patrick Mahomes more than I do Lamar. Although I love seeing Lamar Jackson play, probably more than I do Pat,
That's what I was gonna say, bro. I was gonna go with Lamar just because of like how much he improved from, like you said, like when I remember watching the game with you guys. I think we were up in Oceanside, right, or Pendleton, when we were watching the Chargers versus
oh yeah,
Ravens
yeah,
game.
I was at the beach, right?
Yeah.
And
you're right. He was exposed like that time, but then when he came back, like he was just like 20 times better than.
He upped his game, man.
Yeah, he upped his game. And
Mahomes does the same thing, man.
I know, and he likes playing from behind, and he just likes being.
It's incredible.
And it's just the more he gets like the doubts, like the better he gets, and just.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. I mean.
So I'm gonna have to go against the grain on this one. So I give Mahomes all the credit, and as a Charger fan, I don't want to.
Right?
But as a football fan, I gotta jump on the piggyback on what you guys are saying about Lamar. Was that one time he hit that playoffs and he was super exposed. We took out a linebacker and put it in DB, and the Chargers kind of just contained him. And he couldn't get anything off.
Nothing.
But then he came back next year and showed him that wasn't going to stop him. He kind of had a lot of help because he has the Browns and the Bengals in this division. You're talking about teams that combined couldn't even go 500. Like they're 8 and something. Like, that's horrible. Like,
yeah.
He did improve his game. And the Steelers last year didn't have Big Ben, and we all know that's the one thing that Steelers don't have is a backup QB, right? If Ben Roethlisberger is not on the field, Steelers don't have an answer for that. They're going to throw whoever they can in there. They're set at wide receiver, they're set on the line, they're set on defense, but if they don't have Ben, Tomlin is just kind of that emoji like this, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just put somebody in there and see if he could throw the ball, right?
That's true.
So the other fact is Big Ben is getting up there in age. The Browns still have Baker Mayfield as their QB1, and the Bengals have a rookie quarterback. And now, no matter how good everyone says Joe Burrow is going to be, no matter what their things are, he's still a rookie quarterback.
Exactly.
Right? And the Ravens are primed to be an AFC Championship contender. Right. I'm not saying they're pick number one, but they're primed to be an AFC Championship contender. They'll be in that game, is what I'm saying. Right. If you ask any of the press, if you ask any of the NFL people, so I think Lamar actually is gonna have a better season, stat wise, than Mahommes. Now, Mahommes, you guys are 100% right. Mahommes loves playing from behind. He loves to show that no matter how far he's down, he's going to come back and win that game. He showed in the Super Bowl. He was down. 49ers looked like they had a beat. Mahomes said, "You all think you all got this?" And he went out there.
Yeah, man.
I'll be right back. For
And then you look at the AFC West now. And the AFC West. Oh, did we lose John?
Yeah, he's going to step away. Go ahead.
Okay. So the AFC West now, every team is building up against the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like rookie-wise, draft-wise, and accusations via free agent. And everybody's looking to stop, the Chiefs. I don't know what the teams are doing against the Ravens. I'm not too sure, but I'm hoping they're plotting the same deal, because that's
and that's the other thing I think that Mahomes has against him as far as having a better season is the Broncos are going to get better. I don't believe in who they got at QB1. What's the cat's name?
Lock.
Yeah, I don't think he's a real NFL QB1, but the Broncos, the team themselves, is trying to get better. The Chargers, although we're unsure about who our QB1 is going to be, I think as a team, as a defense, as an offense, we're trying to get better. So no matter if it is Tyrod or if it's going to be Herbert, I think as a team we're trying to get better, right? And Raiders, I have no idea what they're going to do. They're a big wild card in the AFC West.
It's very interesting right now. It's very interesting right now in the AFC West, man. I mean, I don't like judging teams right now.
Yeah, no, and the one team and as a Charger fan, everyone's gonna say, "Oh, you're just a Raider hater." But as a football fan, I got to tell you, I don't know what they're doing, because if you honestly look at it, they had a winning formula. They had a winning formula.
What they had,
and all of a sudden, it's just like we're gonna.
Fucking mix everything up, man.
We're gonna change everything up. We're gonna
like
change who you think. Yeah, no. And that's the thing is, we're gonna change who you think our QB1 is. Like, why? Why? Like, I get it, he got injured, but is that a reason why to give up? On the dude who got you to the playoffs. Carr was a good QB, but even and to be honest, last Hard Knocks was the only time I actually watched and studied what they were showing on Hard Knocks. Or was it Hard Knocks? Whatever they show on HBO. Is that Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
And actually, that was the first time I actually watched like the whole series, and I was like, why is Gruden so bent on carrying these other QBs when he has Carr on the field?
He has something against him, man. That's what it feels like, man. I honestly feel like he just doesn't like how he plays or something, man. I mean, because he brought in Mariota to compete for that position, and Mariota is an elite quarterback when he's ready to go. You know what I mean? Granted, he's been struggling. You know what I mean? But it's a situation that's like, damn, man, I mean, Mariota,
right? He's not necessarily the guy that you want to bring in to tell Derek Carr we're replacing you, right?
Because that's a big oh shit, man, I'm about to lose my motherfucking job, man.
Yeah, because like no, to be honest, like Derek Carr could sit there and be like, if you brought in another QB, like let's just say they brought in like Phillip Rivers, Derek Carr would be like, that's an exclamation point. I'm afraid for my job.
Yeah, yeah.
But to bring in Mariota, he's like, what has he really done compared to what I've done?
Like, is there even going to be a friendship between those two? Like,
Yeah, right.
Like
now, from what I've seen about Derek Carr, of course there is, because he's a nice guy. Like he's gonna get along with his team, and he's gonna put the team first before anything. But you're 100% right. Like Derek Carr's gonna be like, why should I even be friends with this dude? Yeah, and
that's an awkward situation, man. Like, like it's almost like if you're Derek Carr, you're gonna have to kind of be that way. You're gonna have to kind of be like, hey, yo, fuck this dude. This is my team. I'm trying to save myself. I don't want to be your friend until that decision is made.
Until I'm QB1 and you're QB2. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that is a crazy situation. You know what Will was telling me about? He had a bold prediction. He had a bold prediction for next year. Is that Derek Carr and Mariota, one of those is going to be a backup next year to guess who on the Raiders. We were just talking about him. Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh.
What?
He made it, and at first I was like, hell no. You know what I mean? And then I thought about it, and I was like, because I remember reading some articles about how Aaron Rodgers is friends with Gruden.
He's friends with Gruden, and he's from Cal.
So there's a lot of chemistry going on right there. So that might be crazy, you know?
Well, it's on record now. We're gonna put it on YouTube, so it's on record now. But hey, so maybe we get Will on here one of these podcasts. He can join in.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Let him know what time we do it. Maybe we can get him here as a guest. Have him in every once in a while. I'd actually like that, to just have him talking with the group. But yeah, so to round it back, so the AFC West is one of those divisions in crazy kind of whirlwind as far as the standings. So I think just because of that, Lamar has a better chance of having a better season than Mahommes. Even though Mahommes looks like he's kind of unstoppable as far as his play, as far as what he could do on the field.
Yeah. Whew. I mean, that dude, I think I have a good feeling Mahomes is going to end up being the MVP next year.
Well, we'll see.
I have a good feeling, man.
As an NFL fan, I do like to see kind of what's next on the table for him, because you know, on the last few years, he's kind of put it all out there to show you what he's got. So to come into this season, and as defending champions, every sport knows it's hard to be defending champions, because everybody prepares more when they know they got to face you. You know, every team that has you on the schedule knows that, like, that's the game that you got to play the hard.
That's a must. That's a must win. Yeah.
For any team. It doesn't matter you AFC, NFC. If you playing the Chiefs, you know we gotta win that game to make a statement on how good we are. Even if you are the Browns or
the bottom to the top. Yep. From the bottom to the top, man. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait, man. This is gonna be a fun. Like, I'm hoping that injuries don't plague a lot of teams anymore, you know, and that everybody just competes.
Yeah.
A lot of close games and shit. A lot of rookies coming out, you know, beasting, you know, like, that's what I want.
I think that's one of those things that separates us from regular, just like sports fans. We do have our favorites. You know, we do like to see the Lakers win, and we do like to see the Chargers win.
Oh, wait a minute.
Don't say we.
Wait a minute. You're moving too fast, man.
I trying to get that one in quick there. No. Yeah, no. We like to see our teams win, but on top of that, I think as a group, we like to see the number one go against the number one. We don't like to see people be hurt, or we don't like to see people say, "Oh, this is my this is the game where nobody played." So we definitely want to see.
Not everybody likes seeing the underdogs come through and fucking eat motherfuckers up. That's something else.
So my homie is actually from Cleveland, and we were on my first ship in the Navy together, and he is a Browns fan. He's also a Cavs fan. So we go through this period in the NFL where we always exchanging messages back and forth because it's the Browns, and we know they're gonna go 3-4 wins at best. But I tell him all the time, man, even though you play in the same division as me, a conference as me, even though you're playing the same conference as me, I always hope that the Browns turn around and just come through and make it to that first round of the playoffs, bro. And he's like, no, I appreciate that. I was like, no, it's not for you.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see the Browns be on people's schedule and just be like, well, that's a win. Like, I hate to see that.
Yeah. For any team, I mean, really. Like, I always hope for these bottom teams to make a comeback and not beat us, of course, but make a comeback and make an underdog statement. That's what I like seeing, man. That underdog shit. That Clipper Nation stuff.
That the Lakers and Chargers Nation. Yeah, I got you, bro. I got you.
Well, it's looking like the Rams are. They might be the little brother now, dude.
Yo, the Rams can fill more seats, but they can't win more games. That's all I'm gonna say this year.
And they're getting worse and worse.
And to go to that season where they were the Super Bowl favorites.
Exactly.
I thought it was going to be them in Kansas City 2 years ago.
Yeah, and so what they are coming this season, people are like, they're not even making it to the playoffs this season. Like,
I know.
How you fall so fast, right?
I know, right? And then watch Gurley go to Atlanta and just go back to his old self. You know
what? Sometimes I'm a granted because Chargers have this MO of our training staff just for some reason have a ton of injuries. Sometimes your training staff makes a hell of a difference. Like they just and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like some training staffs make them do yoga or believe in like the crystals or what. But all I know is that if you go to the Phoenix Suns at any point in your career, you're gonna last like another 30 years after that. Because Steve Nash was like 80 years old, I swear, and was still dishing out assists like crazy, right? No injuries. Karl Malone, right? Like I'm just saying, like some training staff.
Vince Carter. What the hell is Vince Carter? One of the best.
Vince Carter must have the best trainer in the world for the boy to still be balling out the way he is, right?
Still, man, it's crazy, dude.
And
that is true, man.
Yeah, and it's all training staff, right? And I get it. It's your team, and I don't know if it's that whole GM. Like you have to raise a staff to kind of be cohesive with your beliefs, and everyone just kind of fall in line, and that cohesiveness helps you develop a better team atmosphere. I don't know what it is, but all I know is some training staff, San Antonio Spurs, never had a real big injury. I mean, they had the Kawhi Leonard one, which kind of sent him throughout the but
that was like intentional. Like
that
was intentional. You know what I mean? So that was something different. But like that training staff shit, man. Like I honestly think that ultimately it comes down to the science of whatever you're doing, whatever, what kind of like ligament stretches you're doing in order to make a human being more flexible, Gumby style. You know what I mean? Like make them be able to bend more than like the average football player. You know what I mean? To be able to withstand this shit, because these players are getting athletic, so it's it amazes me that teams still like really get plagued by injuries like that. Like, the whole Chargers thing was very, it's been very rough for Chargers fans when it comes to injuries. Like,
Nah, yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying is like the training staff makes all the difference. You see like mobile QBs, like Lamar or Mahommes, and they not have big injuries. Yeah, Mahommes had one lately, but
recovered.
he was still able to come back for the playoffs. And that's all. And honestly, while watching the season, that's all the commentators kept saying was KC just has to win enough to get to the playoffs.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if it's wild card. Doesn't matter if it's top of the league, top of the conference. Just has to get to the playoffs, because as soon as Mahomes can take back over, he's going to win games. And so that's all training staff, right? I mean, if you have a training staff that's going to take care of you, that's going to look after you,
shouldn't have to worry.
Exactly.
Shouldn't have to worry.
What's up, John? Welcome back.
What up, man? Sorry, guys. A bunch of people popped up out of nowhere.
Broadcasting from the kids' room.
Shit, it looked like you just ate a piece of chicken, bruh.
I was snacking on some pistachios.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's all good, though.
All right, so we're going to roll right back into it. Speaking of motivation, speaking of hype, speaking of bringing your team up, we're going to bring back one of our favorite games. It was on our first pod. We're going to play One's Gotta Go. But this time, we're going to throw a little twist on it. We love talking about sports around here on Randomville. That's one of the things that kind of bonds us all together. But we're going to talk about family sports movies, growing up. Well, all right. So out of the 4 choices y'all got is you got the Mighty Ducks. And we're just talking about the first one, right? Mighty Ducks, Cool Runnings, Space Jam, and The Sandlot. All right. And I don't know if y'all saw the pattern here, but I picked 4 different sports, 4 different movies. Yep. But they all came around kind of that same era for all of us, right? I didn't throw in any kind of adult movies in there like Rocky or anything like that. I wanted to make sure everybody was on a level playing field there. So we got the Mighty Ducks. We got the Jamaican bobsled team.
Cool Runnings.
We got the Toon Squad, and we got the Sandlot. All right. So we're going, like always on this game, we're gonna start with your number 1 keeper. All right. So John, who you got as your number 1 keeper in this lineup of movies?
Hey, the real Last Dance, Space Jam.
Yeah.
That's what I'm keeping. Like anything Jordan does, like especially at that age, like I was probably like might have been in the 7th, 6th grade or something.
Yeah.
When that came out, I don't even remember.
Yeah, I think I was in like the 3rd grade or some shit.
Damn, ouch.
Yeah. Moses a young buck still, yeah.
Rub that in on you real quick.
Man. Woo, you feel that salt? Oh.
Rub that shit
in.
He
was like, yeah, I think I was barely born when
he was like, I was too young to see it in theaters.
Yeah. He's like, I waited for the DVD. I had the DVD.
Oh shit.
That's
all right. Who's your number 1 keeper, Homo?
Man, I gotta be honest, man. I don't know anything about bobsledding, but cool Runnings was dope as fuck to me, dude. I actually, when I first watched that movie, I think I was like 7 years old. I think I was like 6 or 7 years old. And right after that movie, I went outside, I got my bike, and I set up an obstacle course around my front yard, man. Just because of how like I felt like that shit was like really intense, man. Like I thought that was like more of an intense movie, but Sandlot is another one. I think that would be my second.
Hold on. We just number one. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Okay.
For my first keeper, I'm gonna throw a wrench in all y'all plans. But my number one keeper for sure is Mighty Ducks. All right.
Okay.
Now the reason being is as I got older, my main sports were like football, basketball. You know, the sports everyone looks forward to playing when you get into high school. But when Mighty Ducks came out, I actually got into hockey. Like, to be honest, I went out and I got myself a hockey stick. I went out and got myself a street puck. And I was out on the streets rollerblading, playing hockey. I'm the only kid, you know, and I grew up in a primarily football, basketball kind of neighborhood, right? I'm the only kid up and down these streets practicing my wrist skills, keeping that puck, my puck handling skills. And I actually got into a weekend league when I was younger to on like Saturdays to go and play roller hockey inside like this like dome out in the East County in La Mesa or something. And I remember too because I just got my ear pierced and some old cat hit me so hard it popped my earring inside my ear and it got infected. But I remember all this because I was playing hockey. Yeah, no, because I had the helmet on. And
Yeah.
some dude checked me into the wall and the helmet hit my earring like just perfectly.
Oh, popped your shit.
So where it went inside my ear.
Damn.
And then like I didn't pop it right back out because I didn't really notice it. And so like the next morning I woke up, my ear was swollen.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. And I had to take it out, and I've never been able to get my ear pierced again, just because there's like this hard like callus in there from when it happened. But
you got that cauliflower ear now.
You got that wrestling ear.
But because that movie motivated me so much, I went out and joined this damn league as a kid to play hockey. So I gotta put Mighty Ducks up there at number one for me.
I was wishing I could do a bobsled fucking team.
Ball in the fucking hamper.
I'm gonna get to Cool Runnings in a minute, but all right. So Moses, what's your number two keeper? What's your number two?
Okay, my number two is got to be Sandlot, man. Because, well, I mean, 90% of the reason is because my older brother growing up, who is 7 years older than me, he was all into baseball. And at that point in my life, I was looking up to him, you know, but he'd always watch that shit. He'd always watch The Sandlot, and I got inspired by that as well too, man. That was what actually made me get into t-ball and coach pitch and all that shit because of that movie. And then I was afraid of like tall fences. You know what I mean? Like right after that.
I don't know if that's because of Sandlot, but
I don't know. I'd always think about that big ass fucking dog that was behind me. That was my
All right, John, what's your number two keeper?
I gotta go with Sandlot, bro.
Hell
Just
yeah.
not even being a baseball fan, but like it just had that straight up like 90s feel.
Yeah, that's the
you know what I mean? Like the 90s kid feel where you had like the group of friends. Like a lot of 90s movies were like just based on a group of friends. You know what I mean? Like yeah, exactly. It's just like how it is, like, you know, classic, just a classic movie, you know, growing up.
100%. That's a very good point, dude. That is a very good point because movies touch you in that way, you know, like especially these movies.
It'll bring you back. It'll bring me back to like the time that you actually watched that shit and like
make you feel like a fucking kid again, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so on that note, my number two keeper is gonna be Cool Runnings. Kind of like Moses, I wanted to get into bobsled, as soon as I seen this movie. I'm like, this has got to be the coolest sport. And not even the ice part, but if you remember back in the beginning of the movie, they were like built this sled with wheels and we're trying to go downhill.
Cars.
I'm like, how can I do this? Like I can
Sign
find a
me up.
hill. Yeah, sign me up. I want to do this. I'm a daredevil. But what really set me off was maybe not the first few times I seen this movie, but later on, kind of when I got up into close to teenage and the beginning of my teenage years, where the dude was talking about standing up for himself. And he was like, where he's like talking to himself in the mirror and, you know, trying to pump himself up. It's like, I see pride. I see power. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Don't take shit from nobody.
and I'm not going to lie. I still kind of give myself that pep talk when I go do things. So like when I go in an interview, like I have to hype myself up because I want to present myself the best way I can. And to be honest, that's one of the things I say. I look at myself in the mirror. I say, I see pride. I see a power. I see a badass mother who don't take no thing from nobody. And that kind of like builds my confidence up. And so the whole fact that Cool Runnings does that, and they kind of do that in a way to show that like minorities need to do that overall. That's kind of the message, right? It's like if you're a minority, like don't be ashamed of who you are. Be who you are. Don't try to mimic other people. Try to be like who you are and represent with your people. I still kind of use that.
You got to start from somewhere. You know what I mean? That that was one of those movies where whatever you had, take that and make something out of it, man. And that's why I would go outside and make these obstacle courses out of like bricks and plants and sticks and shit, man. I thought that was dope as fuck, man. And
I thought it was dope too.
I'd be in the bathtub.
Yo, and that was one of those things. That was one of those things where it showed you like just studying what things look like, right? It was kind of like going back to like when you watch movies and they'd be doing football movies and they'd be like people watching game tape or basketball, people sitting there watching film on their last game or whatever. Like you see a bobsled team looking at pictures of corners. You're like, yo, you got to be dedicated to sit in a tub and plan out what turn you're on and how to lean in that turn.
I know, for real, man.
That's Michael Jordan level stuff.
That was analyzing the game, man.
Yeah. And it don't matter what game you win, you analyzing the game.
You can relate to that shit.
Yep. So, John, I got you Space Jam and The Sandlot, right? So that leaves Mighty Ducks and Cool Runnings. Who you got as a giveaway? Who's your toss away?
Not to take nothing away from Cool Runnings, but I think, like I said, like with that whole 90s feel, like Mighty Ducks, you know, I got to keep the Mighty Ducks and I got to toss the Jamaican bobsled team. And I know. And I mean, like I remember watching Cool Runnings as a kid, and I was just cracking up at just like, because it was just like like an entertaining movie, and it was just like straight up underdog. But you can't get more underdog than fucking Mighty Ducks, bruh.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks. That is true, man.
You know what I mean? Like,
Sunka ain't got shit on
Oh man.
Sunka, you dead?
Yo, we playing. Hey, yo, on the YouTube, we playing that theme song. He was singing out by the fountain.
Oh, yeah.
Making bobsled team.
We have the one, the East and the one, you. Yeah. I'll pay you $1 to shut up.
So, Mo, I got you on The Sandlot and Cool Runnings, which leaves you Space Jam and Mighty Ducks. Who you giving away?
Who am I giving away?
Yeah.
I'm giving away, I mean, it's hard, but I gotta give away to Mighty Ducks on it. Just cause, like basketball is one of my loves. Michael Jordan's one of my idols. I fucking grew up on the Looney Tunes, and it's just too cohesive with my personal being than Mighty Ducks. Although, you know, that underdog tip that John had mentioned on the Mighty Ducks, that's really important to me, though. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's important.
That's what makes it hard for me to cut them off. You know.
No, it's the approach, and that's kind of with all these movies, right? You think about Mighty Ducks, Cool Runnings, Sandlot, Space Jam. They all had that underdog moment in each one of those movies where it's kind of like we're gonna push through as a team, and become one. But you're giving up Mighty Ducks, huh? You're giving up the hockey team.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, y'all.
All right, then. So for my two keepers so far, I got Mighty Ducks and Cool Runnings. So leaves me with Space Jam and the Sandlot. And I'm gonna piss off the internet right now. But I'm gonna have to give up Space Jam. So on that note, I agree 100% with y'all, and I have some fond memories about when Sandlot actually came out. I actually remember seeing this movie in the theaters with an actual friend from on the other block. Her parents took us and her brothers, I think my brother too, to go see this movie. And then afterwards, we went into a dine-in Pizza Hut that had all-you-can-eat salad bar. And we went and had dinner there.
Hey,
so
El Cajon still got one of those.
I think El Cajon's the only place, but this place was over in the South Bay in Palm, near IB. But yeah, I think El Cajon is probably the only place that still got a dine-in Pizza Hut. But y'all right, like the 90s vibe, even though it's supposed to take place before the 90s, like the 90s vibe of the kids running around, running amok. You got a group of friends that you just always kicking it with, you know, and y'all find that one thing y'all bond over, whether it be baseball, basketball,
yeah.
You know, even if it's just like the Super Soaker that came out in 90 something, you know, like y'all just hooking up and just always talking about like something. Playing Nintendo, you know, together.
Yeah, all that shit.
When Super Nintendo came out, that same best friend, we would always play Mario Kart together. Like I remember before all these new Mario Kart 64 and the Wii and the Switch, we had Super Nintendo Mario Kart, and that game was played out to the point where like you had to blow in that cartridge to get it to work because we played it so much.
You had the fucking harmonica that
bitch. So as much as Jordan is an idol to me, you know, specifically for that movie, I gotta let it go, man. I got too many hung up memories on the Sandlot.
Yeah, damn. Understandable though.
Understandable.
Yeah, but the internet gonna blow me up for picking Sandlot.
A lot of motherfuckers don't even know what that is no more.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all for your showing up for this pod. I appreciate it.
Sir.
Yeah, another good night, another good topics. So we'll see y'all. This episode will come out normally on Wednesday, just like all the other episodes. We coming to Spotify and Apple iTunes hopefully this week. So y'all look out for us on the podcast app so y'all can hear the audio. And then you know, just follow us on YouTube. And we got to do the personal shout outs. Moses, you got anything you want to follow on?
I just got this new bucket hat, man. It's a cookies bucket hat. I don't know if y'all know Burner. This rapper, entrepreneur, smoker. He's all in on life and you like justice to the people and all that goodness, man. I just caught this hat, man. Go check him out. He's dope. He's got some dope gear and he got some good herb too.
All right. Thanks for the shot. Hey, John, what you got? What's your TikTok?
Pinoy Boy.
Oh, shit, did he pause on that?
Oh, did we just lose him on that one? Oh, that's going into YouTube. Oh, we just lost him on that one. He said TikTok Panoboy, and we lost him.
Oh fuck!
There we are.
I was dancing, and that shit cut out.
You can't get too active on the TikTok, bro.
It was too much. It was too much
It's
for
too much.
Zoom
It was
to
too much for Zoom.
It was too much.
You gotta follow him
banned.
at TikTok. You gotta follow him on TikTok.
Yeah.
All right, where can we follow you, Moses?
Follow me at Cathartic 1987. Cathartic with a K. Also, I had opened up another IAG page. It's called Wisdomatic Fathers. Plan on posting a bunch of like father things when it comes to the family and the people that I know and all that. You know, a lot of things that people can relate to. Haven't really posted anything yet because of this quarantine thing, but it'll be coming up soon. As soon as all of this is over, go check me out on that too.
Yeah, let's go follow him. Let's support Moses. You can always follow me at Cash Exploit, all one word, split in the E's. All right. Also follow the pod at Randomville, California. Link will be right there. And then follow the parent company, True Island Nobility. We trying to do big things over here. We trying to get things started. So follow us up. Don't forget to click subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell so you get all notifications when any new pods go up. And then y'all got anything that y'all want to do, hit us up in the comments. Go ahead and let us know. If you have something you all want us to talk about, go ahead and set that up. We'll go. Anybody you want to post in the comments something y'all want us to talk about, go ahead and throw it down there. We'll go and talk about it next week on the pod. All right. Anything you guys want to say before we head out?
Peace and love, y'all. That's all I got to say.
When's that stimulus check coming?
I know. When the second round coming.
Second wave.
All right, y'all. Have a good time. Have a good time with y'all stimulus check. All right. Stay safe. Stay healthy. We'll see y'all next week.